Alright, check it out, y'all. This is some funny shit, real quick.
Double kill.
Yeah, I'm the best player ever. You saw that shit, right? Those guys didn't see it coming. Fucking serious ninja skill. Just kidding, that was like the easiest thing I've ever done. So anyway, guys, yeah, in this video I'm gonna talk about, why you shouldn't give in to hype like a retarded fucking fanboy faggot. Yeah, alright, now here's why. I was inspired to talk about this and make a video like this because GLL recently made a video where he pissed off a bunch of fucking fanboy fuckheads. And, I gotta say, these people are retards. In GLL's latest video, he was just mentioning how that man, I'm having one of those brain farts. He was just mentioning how you got to be careful with your money and don't give in to hype and fanboyism. Like, you got to remember, the day and age we're living in video games now is the microtransaction age, where everything is more expensive than it's ever been before, and we live in an economy now, a planet with more human beings on it than ever before, so wages aren't as good, for the most part. Not everybody is the same, but, you know, generally speaking, overall, wages aren't as good, and fucking, prices are high, and there's accessories, there's DLC, there's microtransactions, there's online fees, there's all these different fucking games and consoles now, you know, like, there's all these editions of games, season pass, this and that, limited edition, special edition, holy fucking god, like, it's nuts. So, GLL, in his latest video, he was talking about the Switch, and how the fucking Switch, is basically a Wii U. And it really is. The graphics and processing power and all that, it's pretty much the same shit. The only real difference is, I guess, it has slightly better resolution, slightly better frame rate for some of the games, and it's slightly more portable. But it's like double the price for everything in the long run, so. He was just saying that, you know, they're basically selling you the Wii U again, and that's kind of the fucking truth, you know? And a lot of the games on the Switch are just old games from the Wii U that are getting ported onto it. And it's just fucking ridiculous because you got a lot of people who are just like, fuck the Wii U. The Wii U is shit. And then the Switch comes along and they're just like, oh my god, the Switch is the best console ever. It's like, what? How does that make any sense? You're a fucking retard. But hey, gamers are fucking stupid. You know? Gamers are really some of the dumbest motherfuckers, so I guess it makes sense. Now, moving on here, I'm gonna talk about why you shouldn't give in to hype and be one of these retards. Now, here's why. If you're not going to act like one of these fucking idiots and become one of these morons who gets easily hyped. The reason I'm really talking about it is because they just showed off Smash Brothers 5, and a bunch of people were just like, oh my god, yes, this is the greatest thing ever, oh my god. I even saw one guy going, that's all they had to do, that's all they had to do, take all my money, that's all I needed was Smash Brothers 5. Like, we didn't even see any gameplay. Smash Brothers Wii U wasn't that great compared to the last three. Smash Brothers 3DS is pretty much dog shit. Like, Nintendo's been fucking up a lot lately. With the Switch, I guess they're doing okay sales-wise, but it's still not the greatest console ever, not even close. Like, the only thing they really got going for it is that Mario Odyssey. Everything else you can get on the Wii U, it's pretty much just as good. It's pretty much just the same shit. So, anyway, yeah, why would you get hyped for a trailer that wasn't even that good, that didn't even show any gameplay? All they did was show a silhouette of Mario and Link and some other background characters, and those faggot characters from that Splooge Toon game. That's what I call it, Splooge Toon. Because it looks like characters are just shooting a bunch of jizzwads at each other. I'm sorry, I just don't see what people see in that game. I guess it's fun, I don't know. I haven't done any research, really. from what I gathered, it's a versus game where you just shoot globs of paint at each other, and whoever's better at jizzing all over the floor wins, or something like that. So, I don't know. It just looked pretty gay to me. Didn't seem too interesting. I'd rather play a multiplayer game where I teabag and shoot the shit out of somebody, but whatever. I guess jizzing on people is also fun. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, people got really hyped for that shit, right? And I'm just like, you stupid motherfuckers, why are you giving in? You know? And, of course, the fanboy dick riders out there are going to say something to me like, don't you dare tell me how I should spend my money. And it's like, I'm trying to help you out here, kid. You know, what if you buy that trash and it turns out to be a piece of shit? And then you're just kicking yourself in the ass. You know, if it's your own money. And in a lot of you, in a lot of cases, for a lot of you fucking idiots, your mommy and daddy buy that shit for you, you know, and, yeah. If you have them buy a fucking full-price game and then you start crying, I don't like this game, and then they come into your room one day and they're like, hey, little Timmy, I see you're not playing that new game I gotcha. And then you go, yeah, Dad, I'm sorry, I got bored of it. And like, it's only been like 5 days since you got it, you know? Like, your parents are going to be like, stupid kid, fucking. You know, like, and you're going to be kind of disappointed. You know, you're going to feel kind of bad that you had your parents buy you that trash and you didn't like it. That's a shitty feeling. Come on. I'm just trying to help you guys. Like, don't get mad because I'm being cautious with my money and I'm trying to warn other people, hey, you know, maybe you should wait for the game to come out first. Maybe you should do some research and check out some reviews first. Maybe you should even see if you even like that sort of a game, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe you should do some history and see how fucked up the developers are, you know? Because nowadays, if I see Activision on the box, I'm just like, nope, not going to do it. Nope, not even, no chance. Nope. I'll watch a review or something, I guess. And if they convince me that they've turned their shit around, which they probably won't, but if they can pull that off, then I might consider getting the game used one day for $10 or $5 or whatever. But you know, that I'm just saying, you got to be cautious, you know. So anyway, one of two things will happen if you don't act like a retarded fanboy faggot who's giving in to hype. One of two things is going to happen. Number one, you were right all along that you thought the game would suck, and it comes out and it in fact does suck. And a lot of people are bitching and complaining. A lot of people are mad they wasted their money. Meanwhile, you're the smart guy who didn't waste his time, didn't waste his money, and got to tell everybody, ha ha, I was right, you were wrong. You know, like, you want to be that guy in that situation. You don't want to be that fucking idiot like me who bought Destiny 1 thinking that it would be a good game. Like, the action of me buying that game really fucking hurt me. Like, I'm never going to forget how stupid I was for giving that game a chance. You know, I'll never forget it. Like, I want to forget it. That was miserable. Like, 10 years of Bungie awesome Halo games, and then I get this shit from them all of a sudden, and it's completely trash by comparison. And I'm just like, why did I let this happen, you know? Am I fucking retarded? I guess so. It was just the shittiest feeling ever. I don't want to feel that way again. And I don't want anybody to have to feel that way, which is why I try to warn people, you know, be cautious with your money. Like, just don't run out the front door waving $100 bills in the faces of developers. Take my money, like a fucking idiot. Don't do that. You're going to get disappointed. You're going to get wallet raped, and you're going to feel shitty. Now, the other thing that could happen is you thought a game would suck, and you were wrong. It comes out, and it's actually really fucking good. Well, what's the worst that could happen? The fanboys laugh at you and go, haha, you thought it would suck, but it's actually amazing. They were going to say that to you anyway, even if the game did suck, because these people are fucking morons. So anyway, even if they do say that to you, and they're right, and the game is actually good, and you are wrong for thinking that it would suck, who fucking cares? You should be happy that you were wrong that it sucked. I mean, that it's good. Because now you got a good game to play, don't you? So yeah, big whoop-de-doo. You thought it would suck and you were wrong and it turned out to be good. Well, eat shit and play the game. Eat crow for it and move on and just play the game, you know? That happens. Like Witcher 3. Like Witcher 1 and 2, they weren't anything special in my eyes, and I never really noticed those games. And I saw Witcher 3 coming along, and I'm just like, whatever. It turned out to be a really fucking kick-ass game, and I had no idea how good it could be. And I played it a little while ago at my buddy's house, and yeah, that game's fucking badass. It really is the next Elder Scrolls or the next Fallout. Like, fuck Fallout 4. Like, get that game instead. But yeah, like, I was wrong. I looked at that game and just went, that's probably going to be shit. And I was wrong. So if you want to make fun of me for being wrong about Witcher 3, go right ahead. I'm glad to be wrong. I'm glad to be wrong because that game is actually fucking badass. And that makes me happy that I was wrong. Like, oh, that's given me some faith in some of these developers. They didn't fuck us over with microtransactions, and they gave us a kick-ass single-player game that doesn't get old very fast. Good fucking job. Defied my expectations. I was glad to be wrong. Call me an idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about all you want, but I'm happy. We got a good game to play. So like I said, either one of two things is going to happen. If you don't act like a retarded fanboy who gives in to stupid-ass hype. Number one, you were right, and you didn't waste your money and time, and that's great. Or number two, you were wrong about the game, and everybody made fun of you for talking shit, but in the end, you got a good game to play, so just shut your fucking mouth, stop bitching, and play, because it's good, alright? Either way, you win. In scenario 1, you save your money and you don't waste time. Or scenario 2, you were wrong, and yeah, that sucks, and you feel kind of stupid, but you got an awesome game to play now, don't you? Yeah. Alright, there you go. So it's good to be critical. It's good to be skeptical. It's good to not just run out the front door like a dumbass fanboy. Oh my god, I can't wait. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Because there's always that chance that you don't know what you're fucking talking about, and the game turns out to be a broken, unfinished, overpriced piece of shit, you know? And then, now I'm going to talk about the two things that are going to happen if you do act like a retarded fanboy faggot. Alright. Situation number 1. You get hyped for the game, and then when it comes out, it's good. Well, you do have bragging rights now. You can come out the front door going, yeah, I knew this game would be good, and I was right. It is fucking awesome. But you know what the problem with that mindset is? Because you were hyped for the game all this time, once it finally came out, you had a wish list in your pocket now, didn't you? Yeah. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting in high anticipation, excited as a motherfucker for this game to finally come out. You just couldn't wait. You're there day one paying full price. You maybe even pre-ordered it or got a fucking special faggot edition of the game for the most hardcore of the most hardcore fans. Yeah, and you just couldn't wait to pop this thing in and play it. But guess what? During that whole time that you were excited, you were making a padded list. You were making a wish list of stuff that you expected to be in the game, stuff that you wanted to be in the game. You were getting overhyped. Even though the game turned out to be good, it disappoints you because you've been expecting God to hand you the greatest thing ever, and that's impossible. And that's totally not what's going to happen with any game, no matter how fucking good it is. So you set your standards way too high, and yeah, there you go. You end up in disappointment, regardless of how good the game is. And let's get real here. There are some people that are just like, I knew it would be good, and when it finally came out, it was better than I thought. Like, no, there's really no such thing. Those people are full of shit. They're lying. Because let's get real here. If they knew it would be good, and they were in high anticipation of it, then like I said, they created a padded list. They created a wish list of things that they wanted in the game. And let's get real here. They did not get every single little fucking thing that they wanted, did they? Of course not. Let's be realistic here. The developers can't read the minds of every single fucking fanboy out there. No way. There's going to be some stuff that you wanted in the game that didn't get put in, you know? So you're going to be a little disappointed if you have that mindset, even if the game turns out to be really good. Now, situation 2 is the worst thing ever. You hype up a game, you say it's going to be really good, and all this shit, and when it finally comes out, it's actually a piece of shit. Like Destiny, you know? There's this faggot YouTuber named More Console or something like that. He was hyping the shit out of Destiny, talking about how it was going to be the greatest game ever. Finally comes out, it's a piece of dog shit, and now that motherfucker is clearly insane, constantly trying to convince himself that Destiny is good. And it's like, dude, let it go. Just admit you were wrong. Just admit that you were stupid. But he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to admit that. He's got too much pride. He's too hard-headed about that. He's got a big popular YouTube channel that he's got riding on Destiny. He can't just come out the front door going, this shit fucking sucks! You know, like, no, the guy's a fucking idiot. So, and he's in denial. He doesn't want to admit how trashy it is, just like any demented fanboy. Like, that's what's toxic about that fanboy culture is it's filled with morons who don't want to admit that the game that they're kissing the ass of is actually a piece of shit. I would know. I used to be one of these cocksuckers. With Halo 4, when that game first came out, I kept kissing that game's cock. I really was. I was trying to trick myself into thinking that it was something special. It's not. Like it's an average shooter at best. It's pretty shitty for the most part. But I loved Halo so much. I loved shooting games. I loved first-person shooters so much, and I was younger and dumber at the time, so I tried to convince myself that it was good, but eventually I smartened up and reality set in, and I was like, you know what, this is actually not a good thing that this game exists. So yeah, it's best to be critical and skeptical. It is definitely not better to be a fanboy. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. It is a really good feeling when you know you're right about a game. Like that feeling where you're like, oh, I knew it would be good, or oh, I knew it would be shitty. You know, you just kind of feel like a wizard or a guru, somebody who just can predict the future and knows what he's talking about, you know? But everybody's wrong from time to time. Everybody makes mistakes, so don't get into that mindset. Don't fucking try to act like you know the future, you know? Like you don't. Now, in the past, I have said Halo 6 is going to suck, it's going to suck. Like I know the future, okay? And I have every right to think that Halo 6 is going to be complete dog shit. But there is that small prayer of a chance that I could be completely wrong. Now, granted that chance is statistically extremely small. I mean, let's get real here. 343 does want to put microtransactions in Halo 6. 343 does want to keep the gameplay Call of Duty-ish. You know, let's get real here. They even told us that that's what they want to do. They told us that the rec system is just fine, and they're going to be re-implementing it in Halo 6. They just told us that the movement controls and all that stuff is just fine in Halo 5, and they're going to be expanding upon it for Halo 6. So we know that that's set in stone, but I don't know. Things can always change. Some crazy dude could always show up at 343 with a flamethrower and torch half the staff, you know, and things would take a drastic turn for the better or for the worse. You never know. You're never 100% sure. You can be 99.99999% sure, like in the case of Halo 6, in that it's going to be a piece of shit, or a slightly better game than Halo 5, which still means it's a piece of shit. Yeah, sure, you could say something like that, but in the long run, when it comes to just about anything, no one's ever 100% sure. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on being a fanboy. So, don't be a dumbass fanboy who gives in to hype, okay? You're just either going to get disappointed or you're going to be completely wrong and you're going to look like a dumbass. Whereas, if you were to be critical and skeptical, well then, you don't waste your money, you don't waste your time, and you always end up looking smarter than most people. And if you're wrong about a game being bad when it actually turned out to be good, well, But I guess you're dumb for being wrong, I guess, maybe, not really, but hey, you know, we got a good game to play now, so you should be happy that you were wrong. You should be happy that you thought the game would suck when it didn't, because it defied your expectations, and now you have a little more faith in developers. So, there you go, guys.